Alrighty, it is time for another DVD review, or I guess I should say Blu-ray review in this case. I hope everyone had a great Halloween. I don't know if I said that in my last video or not, but I hope everybody had a great Halloween and everything was safe and sound, and I hope you watched some damn good movies, because I know I sure did. I actually went to the theaters in my town. There was another showing of Longlegs. They had it in theaters, I think, for like 3 days, and it had a special Q&A with the director, Oz Perkins, and a scene from his new movie called The Monkey, which looks really interesting. If anybody got to see that, it showed one scene from that movie, and I've been really excited about it since the trailer came out. Now that I saw that one little scene from it, I'm really excited about it because it looks damn good. But it was a good movie. That's the second time I've seen Longlegs. I was going to do a first impressions video of it, but it's not really my first impressions, so I'll just wait till, because I know I'm going to get it on DVD at some point, or Blu-ray or whatever, whenever it comes out. Or it is out now, but I'm sure I'll pick it up eventually. Anyway, so today this is another film I decided to watch recently, because I haven't watched it in a while, but this is one I pre-ordered whenever I heard it was coming out, and it's one that really impressed me. A lot of these Shudder films have impressed me quite a bit, but the one I'm talking about today is going to be When Evil Lurks. This is just the Shudder, I guess, DVD. I don't know who released this one, but this, I think IFC released this DVD. I'm not sure. Blu-ray, I'm sorry. But I actually pre-ordered this because I kept hearing things about this movie, and I just over and over, and how crazy and you know, just how good it was, and so I had to see it, you know. And it was, I don't have Shudder for some reason. I have Netflix, Hulu, you know. I don't have Peacock anymore, but you know, I don't have Shudder. I don't know why, but to me, Shudder is very hit and miss. Like, there's a lot of movies that they've done that I really enjoy, and then there's some that I just do not like at all. I can't really think of any off the top of my head. The Dark and the Wicked is a really, really damn good Shudder film. I think that's a Shudder movie, if I'm not mistaken. But that was a damn good one that I was really impressed with. Christmas Bloody Christmas is another good Christmas horror movie they did. I really like that one. So a lot of their stuff I've been really impressed with, but some of it not so much. But this is definitely one that I was very happy with. And, you know, I'm going to talk about it today because I decided to watch it. I think I watched it yesterday or the day before. I can't remember. Anyway, this is When Evil Lurks. This movie came out in 2023. I just saw it earlier this year. I think that's when the Blu-ray came out. But it was released. This is a Spanish film, by the way, if I didn't mention that already. So the whole movie is in Spanish. So, you know, if you don't like subtitles and stuff, then, you know, you'll just have to get over it, because this movie's worth getting over it. And I understand, you know, but that never really bothers me. I mean, I watch a lot of movies with horrible Italian dubbing, and it doesn't bother me whatsoever. But this movie was directed by, I'm going to probably say these names wrong, but it was written and directed by Demian Rugna, I think is how you say his name. And it stars Ezekiel Rodriguez, Demian Solomon, Luis Zimbrowski, Sylvia Sebetar. I'm sorry, I'm just fucking these up so bad. So we're just going to stop right there with the cast, just before I screw anything else up. So this movie is basically, it's about, it follows two brothers, Pedro and Jaime, and they are, there is a woman who has a, you know, I think it's her son or her husband, one of the two, and he's a rotten, is what they call it. He's basically just this big, obese blob of leaking pus and blood, you know, and he's confined to the house. And everyone says that he is possessed by a demon, you know, and that's kind of what a rotten is someone who's just sitting there rotting away with this demon inside of them. And they basically, they are, as they're going there, that, you know, they've called for, you know, a priest, a cleanser, you know, and all these people to come and deal with this situation in the home, but no one's ever showed up. And you know, you find out, you know, one of them has been killed, you know, brutally mutilated, you know, out just in the middle of the woods somewhere. And you know, so they take it upon themselves to load this person up and to basically take him and dispose of him. And so they load him up, and when they're going, they end up, they almost hit something or something like that, and they end up losing the rotten. He ends up flying out of the back of the truck, and they go back to find him, and he's nowhere to be found. So they just wash their hands of it, and they're like, okay, we did good enough. He's probably splattered on the side of on the side of the road somewhere, So very kind of dumb decision, and that's kind of the theme of this movie is a lot of people make really dumb decisions, but they're met with really bad consequences because of that. And that's something I really enjoy whenever they show that in a movie, because honestly, in real life, if something like this was going on, a lot of people would probably be making some questionable decisions and some kind of dumb decisions, and of course those have really bad consequences. And I always like when they kind of show that in a movie. It just feels a little bit more natural to me. But anyway, so after that happens, stuff just starts getting a little weird around where they're at, and Pedro and his brother, they decide to load up, and they're going to leave the city, and they go to pick up Pedro's sons from his wife, in the city. And so when they get there, of course, he's trying to explain everything that's going on. He's trying to tell her what's happening and that they need to get out of there and that they need to pack up, and he's offering to take them as well. And he's like, we need to go, we need to go now. And they're arguing, and a lot of, stuff kind of comes out about their relationship, in the argument. And then one of the most brutal and realistic scenes, of course, it's not real, I believe it was all done with CGI, but it looks great. But one of the most violent scenes in the movie happens, and it really stuck with me for a minute afterwards, especially if you're somebody who, doesn't like seeing kids get killed. And I'm not saying that I like seeing kids get killed, but it's something that usually doesn't really faze me too much. I'll say that I like seeing when kids are killed in a movie, just because, that there's no boundaries. This movie's not going to have any kind of boundaries, if they're killing the children. So it's not that I like to see children die, but it's, I like, seeing that, because it really subverts your expectations, because usually when you see children in a movie, you're like, oh, they're going to be fine. They're going to be safe, And in this movie, they absolutely are not. And, that kind of goes for everyone in this movie. Nobody in this movie is really safe from this demon. And so basically that's kind of what happens is, stuff just starts going south all around them. Like, stuff just starts getting really crazy. People are dying, just all manner of things. And I really like how they treat the demon possession in this, because for example, there's a scene, with the dog, and they basically, the Pedro was just moving the rotten, and just from that smell on his clothes, the dog goes over there and he sniffs all of his clothes, and that causes the dog to kind of become evil, And I like too that they're not allowed to, or they're not supposed to kill they're not supposed to kill like the dog, or there's a scene with a goat in it, they're not supposed to kill the evil thing with gunpowder. I think they're supposed to I guess they're supposed to kill it physically, or with some sort of melee weapon, because if you kill it with gunpowder, it releases the evil and it gives it right to possess someone else. And that kind of leads to this scene that's on the cover right here, which is also a really, really nice little scene. I really enjoy. Anyway, so like I said, Pedro ends up picking up his kids, and then he is out to with another woman who is supposed to be like a bruja kind of character, or she's into kind of the occult, and she kind of knows what to do. And they go to set out to find this rotten, because apparently the Antichrist, or this demon, will be born from the body of the rotten, and they're trying to go out and kill this thing the way that you're supposed to, before it's too late. And it leads up to a really just great, disgusting, and terrifying climax. Like, this movie really, it's not that it scared me, but it's just like there's some parts of it that were very uneasy, and it's just so, just like the cover says right here, it's super sadistic and just unrelenting. Like, I mean, just, and it really subverts your expectations. Whenever I sat down to watch this movie, I kind of more or less, I'd seen the trailer, but I more or less thought it was just going to be another demon possession movie, that we've seen 1,000 times. And in some ways it is, but in a lot of ways it's not. It's very different. I love the scale of this movie. It takes place, over, a couple of days and in several different locations while they're just kind of on the run from this thing. And, I really like the way that it wraps up, and kind of with the message, I don't want to spoil anything necessarily, but, it kind of ends with the message, like, no matter what you do, evil will always still be there, and it's a very heavy kind of movie, a lot of emotions in this movie. The acting is excellent. All the actors are doing just a great job. I have especially the scene with between Pedro and his wife. The argument that they have, it just feels so realistic. Just the way that they're arguing, the things that they're talking about, and she's going a little overboard. I guess you could say kind of, but not really. I think she's doing a good job. She just seems super distressed. You really feel bad for Pedro in a lot of these instances, just the stuff that he's going through, especially, seeing him with his kids, and he's trying to do everything he can with his children. One of his kids, I believe, I can't remember. I think he's autistic or something like that. I can't remember what they say in the movie, but that kind of leads into some of the demon possession stuff too, which I think is really cool. Just you get some lore on the kind of the demon possession stuff. It's just, I just think it's such an interesting movie. It was so unique. Definitely took me by surprise. Like I said, the music is really good. The movie shot really well. The director did a fine job. I don't know anything else he's really done off the top of my head. If this may be his first thing, I don't know. The setting is great. I love the kind of the countryside. It makes them feel very isolated, and that kind of, there is a very isolating feeling and kind of a very hopeless feeling in this movie that I feel like is not replicated in a lot of other films. But I think that this movie does a really excellent job of giving you that kind of isolation, because you really kind of are just watching these characters go through this, and you're like, oh my God, like, how are they going to get past this, or what are they going to do with this, or whatever. And there's a lot of just instances that really just took me by surprise. I can't say that enough. But I would definitely recommend this movie if you're in the mood for a new, very violent, very gory, kind of demon possession movie. It really kind of scratched that itch, because I do like a good demon possession movie, especially if it's different, if it's something, kind of like this that I haven't seen before. It's not just an Exorcist knockoff. And of course, it's not perfect. It has some issues. I think mainly some of the issues have to do with, like, there's some writing, or some issues with writing, I think, personally, in there. But again, it's not anything that really bothers me too much, and it's a great movie. I like I said, can't recommend it enough. Absolutely check it out if you have Shudder, or if you get the chance. Pick this up on Blu-ray. I've had this for a few months now, but it is fairly new. But like I said, I wanted to see it so bad whenever it came out. I pre-ordered it. I had to watch it as soon as I could. So I think I'm going to rank this movie probably pretty high. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5, because which seems to be the rating I give almost everything. But anyway, I'll give it a 4 out of 5 because I really do enjoy this a lot. It's a really fun little movie. It's not one that I'm going to watch over and over again. Like I said, since this last time I watched it was probably the 3rd time I've seen it, just a few days ago. So it's not one that I watch a lot, because believe me, there are some that I watch over and over and over again. Make of that what you will, but I know I like what I like. But this is definitely one I would absolutely recommend checking out. Especially I'd say for Halloween time, it would have been a great fit for then. But I think it's a great fit for now, and that's why I'm excited about November. There's a lot of kind of I love this time of year. It's just the best time for a lot of horror movies. So I've got some good reviews planned. That I'm excited to talk about, and I hope people are excited to hear about. But if not, I'm going to talk about them anyway, and whoever stumbles upon this can watch them. But anyway, so that is When Evil Lurks. Absolutely check that movie out when you get the chance, and until next time, have a great day and goodbye.